Next question comes in from Christian for Brian Lauer. Why is the Grand Canyon narrowest at the bottom and widest at the top? Brian, one of your favorite topics?
I love the Grand Canyon. Love the Grand Canyon. That little river didn't cut that canyon. The key to Grand Canyon is bulging and cracking 3 times. And the way Grand Canyon is there and not everywhere else in the world is because there was these 2 huge lakes up on the Colorado Plateau. And those lakes, they when they breached, they cut a canyon down. They removed all the sediment, made this V, moved thousands of feet off of this Kaibab limestone, so there's nothing pushing down on it. So it bulged and it cracked, and that's how it. And then it went down and it undercut Hopi Lake. So now you got 2 lakes catastrophically draining over that whole area, moving 1,000 feet over tens of thousands of miles, gone. So there's nothing pushing down on that. So that whole Kaibab Plateau rises up and cracks. So then the river runs through the crack instead of going around it where it's lower, but it runs through the crack and cuts out 800 cubic miles of the Grand Canyon. And pretty soon there's nothing pushing down on Grand Canyon. So the basement rock bulges and cracks, and the river runs through the inner gorge. The river should have got wider there because it should have got wider into the softer sediment, but it cut deeper into the inner gorge at 1,200 feet. And so that's how come it's that little river and it's that huge canyon. And so, yeah, that's why the little river is there and the canyon's 10 miles wide. That's why.
Thank you, Brian. Mark, over to you.
Yeah, it's just erosion. It cut through. It got deeper and deeper. The top layer is a lot softer, so it was eroded away. And basically the bottom parts, which are harder, didn't get eroded. But the weird thing about the Grand Canyon is that for something that was done so quickly, it's very strange to imagine how the switchbacks were done. If there was carved by high pressure water, how will they actually switch back on one another and go in the opposite direction? I don't understand how that's supposed to happen, except by hydraulic erosion by the river and then mechanical erosion of the sediment on the top and the softer rock on the top by winds. That's basically it.
Okay.
Brian, you get the last word.
Well, if the river cut the canyon, what cut the side canyons? They're just as deep and they don't have a river. And why did that river cut down into that hard crystalline rock instead of getting wider? And if that little river cut that canyon over millions of years, where's the delta? 800 cubic miles were taken out of there. And before that, you had to have 2,000 cubic miles taken off of the top of that. Where's all that dirt? And so that little river, there's no way that little river. And then why did that river can't flow uphill? Because it flows into that canyon at about 3,100 feet and it flows out at about 1,200 feet. And in the middle, there's a canyon that's a mile high. Rivers don't flow uphill to cut canyons. And if that Kaibab Plateau held back a big lake, what Answers in Genesis says, why didn't it flow around the top or the bottom of it? Because it's lower there, but it goes right through. And so there's no way that little river cut that big canyon. There's just no way. There's too many things. There's a pothole on a 2,000-foot cliff on Echo Cliffs that's 4 miles from the river, and it's 3,300 feet above the river. How do you get water going that fast, that far from the river? And it fits perfectly with the hydroplate theory. So great question.
Thank you, Brian.